This is my weekly market recap of how I lost 0.50%, which is $250 of a 50K account. We're going to be going over our week. This week was very hectic. I did not look at the monthly time frame of a open, high, low, close concept of the monthly. So this week was very difficult for me to trade. Although we did have a setup, that's why I faced a loss. I made a mistake. But we did have a setup for a 5RR, which I missed. But we're still gonna journal it, right? But the sole main reason why this week was so difficult was because of the monthly, right? Monthly open, high, low, close concept. Because monthly time frame, the first week is usually a accumulation. Second week is a middle placement of the first week. He swoops out the high or low of the first week. The third week of the monthly time frame is a expansion. So it expands to the high, to the low, to the high of the accumulation or the low of the accumulation after manipulating the low or the high. And the fourth week is a retracement / total soup. So market total soup the previous week, the third week high, it just comes down and just retraces and just resets, right? So basically market makes accumulation, manipulation, expansion, reset. So the reset part is going to have to be a retracement. And that's why we faced a loss. So the retracement will have to soup out, usually sometimes soups out the previous week's candle high or low, then just resets inside the range. And that's what we had perfectly in this session. This is what happened perfectly here. And let's get into it, right? That's why this week our bias was very confusing. That's why I was getting tricked, right? So if we go to the monthly time frame as our bias, first of all, right, we go monthly CRT to the upside. On the weekly, what do we had here? On the weekly, we had a first week of the month, which was accumulation. Second week, manipulation. Third week, expansion. Fourth week, souping out the third week high or low, depending on the bias, right? And everything I'm saying could be vice versa. Then eventually souping out the high, then closing down, right? So basically closing off fairly, right, on the monthly time frame. And as well, this is a reset candle where the market likes to, retrace. So yeah, because market needs to close in a fair price, right? So there's a monthly open, high, low, close concept, right? So that's why my weekly, I was looking for longs here to this week. I was looking for longs to shorting up. That's why my boss was wrong. And my weekly market forecast, as I told you guys, if this CRT gets respected, we're gonna use the CRT. Because what I was looking at, I was looking for an ERO to Iris Alaga inverse for the last week. So I was looking for a long here, right? To go to the CRT high, to the high that creates IRO. So I was looking for longs. That's why I faced a lot of trouble with my Atlantis. Yes, I didn't lose them. I didn't. I should have not even lost this week. I made a mistake. We're gonna talk about it. But I should have actually made money instead of losing money, right? So that's why high time and bots was very difficult to read. On the weekly, on a daily, on Monday, there was no setups. I was looking for longs here. And on Monday is where I had my loss, right? On Monday, the reason we had a loss here, I'm pretty sure it was Monday, right? I was out looking for a New York expansion. Yep, we had an SMT that occurred. So Monday, I was looking for a long. I was looking to long out of the fair value gap. I was looking to do a New York continuation out of the hourly candle. Hourly candle got disrespected. So I did not even use the hourly candles, and I went switch to the 4-hour. The 4-hour gave me SMT during this current, during the specific, during the specific price point, there was an SMT, right, with GU, and the SMT was false, right? You can see 10:30 a.m. came, we had SMT, Motor 1 CI as the entry, that eventually stopped us out. Why did this not work out? I made a mistake where my SMT divergence, the most important factor of a SMT, occurred outside of kill zone. The kill zone is from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. for a specific time of a purge. And the market does that. That means during a specific time, market likes to take a purge. And what does SMT do? SMT prevents a purge happening. So time ran out, and that's why I lost. So the lesson on this trade that I took for a long right over here to the upside, the reason we lost, once again, what was the reason we lost? Because the SMT happened outside that kill zone. And that's why we lost, right? Because, the most important factor of SMT divergence is a specific time. So it must happen at a specific time where market likes to take liquidity. And, if this SMT, if SMT divergence happened around here, like, right before hitting 10:30 a.m. candle, this is a 10:30 a.m. candle. Right before hitting 10:30 a.m. candle, there's an SMT here. If there was SMT and I get a Model 1 CISA confirmation out of it, I would have entered it, right? And if that would have gone a loss, it would have been a perfect loss. But for the SMT divergence, the high or low should not be souped depending on my bias, right? And only if the SMT divergence happens before hitting the 10:30 a.m., right? Which is the Pacific time of your purge. So that's why we lost there. So that was only loss in the whole week. Tuesday there was no trading day. It was the day before FOMC press conference. As you guys know, we don't trade the day before FOMC press conference. The only day we can trade before is NFP. We could trade before NFP. We could trade before CPI. We could trade before PPI, but not FOMC press conference because market will tend to move even faster, right? You can see I'm not trading that day, right? It's really ass. So I didn't even do anything there. On Wednesday, during our FOMC press conference, our setup first was bearish, right? I was looking at how the context here, right? Market soup out the range high, right over here, soup the range high, soup out the range low, right? I mean, soup out the range high. We had a daily range, right? We're already premium, so we're going to the daily range low, which got hit on a Friday. I mean, on Thursday, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Oh no, on Friday is when it got hit. So I was looking to shorting all the way down here. And I was looking, I was looking to go down here as well. But I forgot, during that Pacific time, my bias was correct, right? But it got invalidated through market creating this CRT. So market tapped the 50% mark of the daily rejection block. Then market gave us a confirmation out of this daily CRT to the upside. So had a confirmation on this trade. And our entry, the confirmation happened at 10 a.m. and after 10 a.m. I didn't get no setup, so I'll just call it a day off, right? You can see got a 5-15-minute time frame. Our hourly candle got disrespected, so I was not looking for no candle. I wasn't looking for any entry. You can see 10:30 candle got hit. Yes, he purged out liquidity, but no entries here. So okay, I'm gonna call this day off, right? Although even if the market gave me a setup all from here, it would have not been a 2RR, right? It would have been a 1RR. It only takes trades that are 2RR. But my bias got invalidated right at 11 a.m. So I would have not looked for shorts at all right after hitting 11 a.m. because we had a CISD confirmation to the upside to this daily CRT. So the next day our bias would have been bullish, right? Although we do have negative to the downside, we have to negative to the upside. As you guys know, we prioritize CRT. In this case, we have a daily CRT to the upside. Daily CRT low got souped. Then the next day, we're looking for a New York reversal to the upside, hitting our take profit. And this is the trade I missed, right? So let's go. On this day, my bias was incorrect as well. I was looking for shorts instead of longs. I mean, overall, our bias was correct here, right? We're going basically out of the weekly CRT. But I should have focused more on the weekly CRT, right? I should have known, like, okay, this should definitely be going down because it's the 4th week of the month where market likes to reset, market likes to retrace. And you can see on this day, on Thursday, our bias was bullish. How come the bias bullish from the previous day when the market saw the CRT low? We had a 3-candle CRT. Our goal was only to the CRT, 50% of the CRT of the daily candle. Why? Because Pacific time. We took this trade at Thursday. Our take profit would have been here, not the high, because tomorrow's gonna be a fair close price. So market needs to close tomorrow. So that's why it would have made sense for the market to, not go all over here, right on Thursday, right? It wouldn't make sense. So market Friday needs to cool off, right? So for the next week. So my take profit wasn't too far away. So it was just right over here, TP1, TP2. I was looking for a New York reversal, profile 1 a.m. accumulation, 5 a.m. manipulation, and 9 a.m. expansion. In this case, the 1 a.m. was accumulation, 5 a.m. was a manipulation, and the expansion, right? And our key level is supporting this daily CRT with this rejection block. And that's the only reason, that's the only narrative we had to the upside, right? We had more narrative to this. We had a daily CRT, right? We had a forward dealing range here. We're in the discount area, so it's good to go for the premium, which is right over here, right? Went to the premium, and eventually from the premium we plummeted right back to the downside, right? And we have more narrative to that. So that's we all hit downwards narrative. Where as well we souped to the range low here, right? We had a market made a low, then it made a high. Then eventually, once it made this low and high, market souped the range low. Eventually, we had a range low got souped as well. Then eventually, we want to buy the range is low. When we want to sell the range high, we don't want to do anything in between the range dynamics. So we had that concept as well. To the upside, it was enough for me to take this trade, but I missed it. Why? And the reason I missed it is I woke up at 5 a.m. Look at my phone. I did not know my higher time for buys. I thought I was looking for a new continuation. The market proved me wrong. So I will tell you guys about the lessons, and at the end of the of the video about the weekly market recap. What are the lessons? What are what are the improvements? What can we take on from this week on to the next week and never make it again, never make the same mistake again, and go on forward, right? Going on forward, right? On Friday, our bias was bearish. I was looking for shorts here. We had the same bias here. Our drawn the week got met, which I've emphasized from throughout the whole week. My drawn is going to be here, right, here and here, right. So there's a daily range low. Daily range low is usually a drawn liquidity, same to the daily range high, right after tapping the premium. So market was already in the premium, so drawn becomes equilibrium, then the daily range low. So that's why drawn liquidity was here. Eventually got met on 1 a.m. candle. So I was looking for a near continuation here, right? For the near continuation, it didn't offer me a setup. It first swooped out a CRT low, then went up, but our narrative was bearish, right? What was the narrative? Bearish. Weekly, it was Monday, we had a classic expansion profile too. And for this Thursday trade to the upside, we had a midweek reversal, right? So that's why I had more concept to the upside as well. And this sort of downside was a classic expansion profile too. Monday high of the week, Monday through Friday continuation, right? I mean, Tuesday through Friday continuation until the drawn liquidity. My drawn liquidity for the day was all the way down here. If we go to the 4-hour time frame here, what we had in a 4-hour time frame was we had this range dynamic low, range dynamic low, range dynamic high, range dynamic high got purged. We go to range dynamic low, right? Our daily range low already got purged. We had nothing there. We're in a daily premium, so we're going to the discounted area, which is all the way down here. So daily, we go from daily premium ERL to IRL. I had more context, right? You can see how this is I constantly have net context upside and downside. It all depends, right? In this case, what are we looking for longs here? Because we had daily CRT, we had a midweek reversal. Midweek reversal was eventually false, right? So we had a classic Patrick profile too, and eventually ERL to IRL, right? We can see how context, for both, which is, okay. And eventually from here, we had a daily IRL to ERL, right? So there was a lot of context. It all depends on what you feel, right? Not all what you feel. It all depends on what makes more sense to you, and go based out of that, right? In this case, we had a lot of context on the upside, downside. Yes, it doesn't really make sense that much. You're like, oh, you have a nature upside, downside, left and right, But this week was a very tricky week. If I would have just to focus on the weekly market, if I were just to focus on the weekly, monthly open high low close concept, where the fourth week is usually a retracement, right? Swooping the third week high or low, then retracing and closing, right? If I were to know that, it would have been very easy for me to trade this week. I would first of all look for sales here. Over here, I would look for sales, right? Over here, I would have not looked for sales because market, the CRT high got swooped on Monday, right? So I would have not looked for a selling opportunity, but it would have been very clear for what I was looking at. It would have been very clear to what I was looking at the higher time frame, right? So this long that goes against the weekly CRT to the downside, it still would have made sense because we had a midweek reversal, we had daily rejection block as our key level, we have a daily CRT, because as you guys know, there's a short-term drawn liquidity and there's a long-term drawn liquidity, right? And for a CRT, the 50% of the 50% mark of the CRT is a drawn liquidity, right? And you can see right over here on this, I was saying, well, isn't this going from an ERL to IRL? Why the market went from an IRL to ERL? We had a CRT here, right? And 50% was 50% of the CRT is a draw on liquidity as well in the higher time frame. Keep that in mind. And market went back to reach. In this case, we would have not used ERL to IRL. As you guys know, we prioritize CRT more than ERL to IRL. But it would have made sense to go over here as well, right? We go from a IRL to ERL, right? It would have made sense as well for us to do that, to go to the downside, right? So that short-term move to the upside would have made sense, and it would have perfect entry for a 5.7 RR, right? Which I missed. And now let's go over our improvements, our lessons on this week. What do we learn from this week? What can we take on to the next week and going on forward? What can we prevent mistakes? What can we do to prevent that mistake from happening ever again? Lesson number 1 is when I should only trade SMT divergence from between 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. If a SMT divergence happened right before hitting 10:30 a.m., the CRT high or CRT low that happened right before hitting the 10:30 a.m., the high or low should not be purged. If a SMT divergence happens after hitting 10:30 a.m. candle or at 10:30 a.m. mark, do not enter the trade because it's not a key time. Because soda soups happen from 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. or if I give you guys micro, 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Right? There's a specific time where the market likes to hunt for liquidity and make big moves happen. Right? And other than that, what's the next lesson? Go to higher time frame. Go to monthly. Look at the monthly open, high, low, close concept. First week accumulation, second week manipulation, purging out the first week accumulation. Right? First week, high or low. The third week of the monthly open, high, close concept will give us a expansion to the high or low of the first week, where if the CRT low on the second, once this first week gets created, the accumulation phase gets created, the second week will manipulate the first week's low or high. Let's just say bullish, right? In this case, we'll super the CRT low, and the third week will drop to the CRT high, right? And the fourth week will just reset, basically cool off, right? And that we should focus on as well, because if that would have happened, we would have had a very clear move to the downside. Because this made a lot of sense, right? We had a bearish order flow, we were just above a high, broke below the low, right? We had a lot of context, right? It would have made very clear sense for us to do that. And what was the last lesson? I've already talked about this lesson before, so I should definitely not make it again. I won't make it because we're human. We'll probably make mistakes, but we have to do it in a very disciplined way. I have to wake up at 5 a.m. I will wake up at 5 a.m. and I will not use my phone. I will straight not even look at the chart, go take a shower or wash my face, brush my teeth, come pray, then be on a chart. Not waking up, looking at a chart, oh, am I looking for a negotiation, half-assing it, and I get half-assed results. So that's why I missed this trade, right? Because I half-assed it and I got half-assed results, right? And that is the lesson. So what can we do next time? Wake up at 5 a.m. Not use our phone. Put our alarm a little bit far away from each other so we can wake up, go grab it, then go wash our face, right? And not use our phone right when we wake up. And I should be in the charts by 6 a.m. Regardless if I'm looking for a trade or not, regardless if I'm looking for a New York continuation or New York reversal, regardless if I'm trading or not, right? I should always wake up at 5 a.m. regardless. And that's the lesson. And the new lesson, which is the monthly open high locals concept, I'm going to implement it. I'm probably going to make a video on it as well, which should be insightful. It should be insight to you guys who are confused about why this week, did a bearish move to the downside. Why you're supposed to go for an IRL to ERL. As you guys know, we prioritize CRT more than IRL to ERL or any other concept, right? And that is the lesson. And this is how I lost 0.50% of my account, which was a $250 loss. It's fine. We learned from it. Now we put it down as a rule. I'll put it down as a rule, and I'm gonna read it every single day. Where I never make a mistake again. A gentleman will make a mistake once and never make it again. And I'm that guy where I make the mistake once and never make it again. I may make a couple times, but we're humans, right? But my goal is to make the mistake once and never again. So yeah, I will not make it again. So thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Actually, I see you myself on my Discord. I want to talk to you. I want to chat with you, man. I want to say something to you. I want to say something very to you. Are you unprofitable? Did you waste years of your life trading, gambling? You're on Discord. I want to chat with you real quick.